Let us start our today's discussion. So, our topic is chemistry of heterocyclic compounds. So, this is the first unit, as you have seen in the syllabus. Uh, Heterocyclic chemistry, when we will discuss in details, uh, we'll come to know what are the things we'll be covering. But just let me give you the brief of how I'll be progressing or will be discussing one after another. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll try to first come to this introduction session of heterocyclic chemistry, what we are going to discuss today itself. Nomenclature of heterocyclic compound. So this part I'll take a bit time, maybe 2 lectures. It can extend to 3 lectures also. Though it is not in terms of exam, it is not so much important, but in terms of nomenclature, if you are, I know since you are a student of chemistry, so at least you should be exposed to the different rulings of nomenclature, particularly for these heterocyclic compounds. Okay, so you have a vast rulings on its naming. Okay, so that will be covering hopefully the all of the rulings. Okay, and then we'll go to the structure and general synthesis. So here actually I'll be focusing on the correlation between the structures and general synthesis. So how we can approach to the structure in a systematic way without knowing, suppose is so-called industrial synthetic route or like that. But what we'll try to understand is we'll try to break down the structure to its origin, and then from there we'll try to develop the synthetic route. So that will help you to come up with any kind of heterocyclic compound is given, you can at least approach to design your own synthetic route. And then we'll come to the structure and reactivity in general discussion. These all are of general discussion. And then we'll come to our specific discussion compound wise. So we'll first start the compound pyridine, then we'll move to quinoline, isoquinoline, then we'll go to the fused system like indole, benzofuran, and benzothiophene. Then we'll go to the 5-membered ring only, is multi heteroatom, like you have 2 heteroatoms. So we'll be discussing the azole type of compounds, 1, 2, and 1, 3 azole. Then we'll finally move to our final session of the heterocyclic compound that includes the agene. Okay, I mean it's diagene, not agene. Agene is a singly substitute, I mean heteroatoms. But diagene means you have 2 nitrogen system. So that includes the 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4 diagene. Okay, so in this sequence we'll be moving slowly, and after finishing this one I'll move to the photochemistry part. What book we should follow? That is very important question. Particularly in general chemistry wise, I'll tell, like, you can discuss the Claydon. Okay, you have heterocyclic chapter there, you can go through. But very specifically, if I tell, I'll tell about the book of written, book of heterocyclic chemistry by Joule, Mills, and Smith. And another one is aromatic heterocyclic, particularly aromatic heterocyclic compound by Davis. Okay, David Davis. So that 3 books will be actually, I'll try to take informations from these 3 books. One of the most important book here is the Joule, Mills, and Smith. So that has vast discussion. So that is our primary book to discuss with. Okay. In terms of exam wise, in general, if you go for the competitive exam and others, The most question what we find, like the pyridine is one of the most important compound. The questions comes quinoline, isoquinoline, that are quite similar. So you have a lot of questions from here. Few questions we can see from indole, benzofuran, and benzothiophene. Okay, azoles questions are very less in terms of competitive exams and other exams, and diagenes are also less in terms of questions. Okay, but since we have in our syllabus, we'll try to cover all of them, but we'll give more focus on pyridine and quinoline. So I'll take a bit more time in pyridine and quinoline so that I should not leave a single applications or single reactions, okay, where till today has been developed or discovered based on pyridine and quinoline, isoquinoline. Okay, so because that two are the most important heterocyclic compound, we find the most questions come in exam. Let us start the introduction. So introduction wise, first we have to know what is heterocyclic compound, and I hope most of you know this one. Okay, can anybody define what is heterocyclic compound? So I need one of you just tell verbally what does it mean by heterocyclic compound. Quickly. One of you can just tell what is heterocyclic compound.
Or any organic compound which is bonded with any heteroatom like nitrogen or oxygen.
One compound. So
and it should be cyclic.
Okay, so I got few information. Number one information is it has to be organic compound. Second information is it has to have heteroatom. And third information is it has to have cyclic structure. Is it the whole information, or you have something else to tell? Any information? So these all are included into its definition, okay, but this is not sufficient. Can anybody tell further what is missing here? Some background sound is coming. Can you just switch, mute your microphone on? So I think thinking you just put it in mute mode. Yeah. So can anybody tell what is missing here? So you have organic compound, you have heteroatom, you have cyclic structure. Okay. Something is still deficient, though information what you have given is included into the definition, but it is not sufficient. So something is missing. Can anybody tell? It's very simple. You can just you know already, just to correlate.
Sir, is it necessary to be aromatic?
No, you have few hydrofuran is heterocyclic compound. Yes. So you will come to know. I'll show you in details. So I'll just try to find out what is one of the most important point you are missing. Okay, you don't have anything extra to know. What the 3 points you have added, these are 100% correct. Okay, but these are not the only thing. You have to have one more addition. The information within these three. So can anybody Just guess.
But the ring must have at least one element of nitrogen, oxygen, or sulfur.
That is correct. That is correct. So heterocyclic compound, it means you have to have the heteroatom on the ring. Okay, that is the most important point. So cyclic compounds having at least one heteroatom in the ring. Okay, so that is your definition. Cyclic compounds having at least one heteroatom in the ring. So let us look at some representative structures. So you can have one atom system, okay, cyclic. You can have two atom system, okay, on the same ring. They may be same, okay, here indicated by A. They can be different, A and B. You can have more than two. They can all same. Two of them may be same. One is different. Okay, and here you see just the reverse. The B has been kept same, 2B and 1A. Or you can have all of them different. Okay, so these are of monocyclic we are talking about. You can have fused ring also. You can have fused structure. Means you have more than one ring. So you have here, if you look at, you have one ring here, and you have another ring, and both the ring you have a you have one heteroatom on the ring, one of the ring. Okay, so these are just the representative figure, like representative heterocyclic structures. It's not dummy one. So if we look at these two dummy structure, can we tell them heterocyclic compound? Do they belong to heterocyclic compound? If I put no, right?
No, sir.
Because your A, it's outside the ring. Yeah, it is outside the ring, so you cannot include in as the heterocyclic compound. Particularly for this second structure, okay, so this structure, so if you look at here, when I have connected the two ring with another bond, okay, then it became heterocyclic compound, yes or no? So when it is connected, it was not, this two ring was not connected, okay, this two ring was not connected, but when we are connecting these two ring with one bond, now A became on the ring, right? So we can tell this as heterocyclic compound. Okay, so this is heterocyclic compound. Heterocyclic compound. For example wise, let us see heterocyclic compounds. You have variety of examples. Here we have given some unsaturated heterocyclic compounds, some saturated heterocyclic compounds. You have different number of heteroatoms. Okay, you have fused ring. In the right side, you see not heterocyclic. Okay, so your nitrogen is outside the ring, oxygen outside the ring. This oxygen is also outside the ring. So we don't consider these are heterocyclic, but this side we have all heterocyclic compounds. Okay, so this I think most of you know. It's not big things. Everybody knows this one. Just to have one introductory class, so I should have one good summary of all this information. Now let us go to the classification. Let us see how we can classify the heterocyclic compound. So heterocyclic compound, if you look at, we can actually divide into two parts. One is saturated heterocyclic compound. Okay, saturated. Another is unsaturated. Now saturated means there should not be any unsaturated bonds. Okay. So can anybody tell what is the name of this one? In common name of this saturated heterocyclic, oxygen containing 6-membered ring. Can anybody tell its common name? Any idea? Anyone of you? No? This one we call it as tell.
Pyrene.
The first one I gave arrow sign. Can you see that one?
Iron, sir.
No.
Pyrene. I think tetrahydropyrene.
Pyrene. Correct. Pyrene. Okay. So you have pyrene. Okay. What is the next one? This one?
Sir, furan.
This is?
Furan.
Tetrahydrofuran, sir.
You have to tell tetrahydrofuran. Your pyrene will be this one. Tetrahydro. You have to tell add tetrahydropyrene. This is tetrahydrofuran. Okay. So tetrahydrofuran. This one common name. So we'll learn everything. Its scientific name, IUPAC name, what it should be, what is the method. So we'll learn. Just I am asking if you can give the common name.
Piperidine. Piperidine.
Piperidine. Okay, not pyridine. So piperidine. P-E-R-I. Okay, D-I-N. This one?
Pyrrolidine.
This one?
Pyrrolidine.
Pyrrolidine. This is correct. Pyrrolidine. So this is pyrrolidine. Piperidine. This is tetrahydrofuran, tetrahydropyrene. Okay. Unsaturated, you have you can again classify into two categories. You have fully unsaturated, means the maximum number unsaturation is possible, that is there. Okay. So one 5-membered ring, how many unsaturation you can put in? Can you put 3 unsaturation ring bond in 5-membered ring? Not possible, right?
Yes, sir, no.
Yeah, so that's why the 5-membered ring can have maximum 2 unsaturation. So we call it, this is fully unsaturated. Okay. Here, if you look at the 6-membered ring, you can have 3 unsaturation maximum. Okay, so that is given here. I'm not talking about the benzene type of intermediate. Okay, those are not stable one. Those we call it in the intermediate. You can have more than 3 unsaturation there. Those are not, you cannot stabilize easily. Okay, so those are not isolated easily. But regular stable compound, you cannot have 6-membered with more than 3 unsaturation. Okay, these are all fully unsaturated. So here partially unsaturation. So if you look at this now, this is pyrene. Okay, this is pyrene. So this pyrene, we have 2 unsaturation. This center have sp3. Right, this is sp3 center. So this is sp3. So we call this is partially unsaturated. So you have this center sp3. Similarly, here we have sp3. This one you have sp3 center. This is sp3 center. This one you have sp3. Don't consider this is as oxygen. So this is sp3 center. This is sp3. This is also sp3. This is also sp3. So since these type of compounds have unsaturation, but you can expect another also. So that's why we can consider these as partially unsaturated heterocyclic compounds. Okay, these fully unsaturated heterocyclic compound into the category of aromatic heterocyclic compound. Okay, this is, we put it into the category of aromatic heterocyclic compound. Okay, these are we put it non-aromatic. So you got up to this point, right? What we'll do is after 5 minutes, maybe, so this is the signal is coming as your time will end at 10 minutes, within 10 minutes. So maybe after 5 minutes, we'll cut it and relog it. Okay. Again, what we can if you look at here this part, we have benzene ring, right? We have benzene ring. Now this benzene ring, in terms of pi electrons, if we consider these are the compounds, heterocyclic compounds, we call it as isoelectronic to this benzene carbocycle. Okay. Here you remember the lone pairs available on nitrogen. Okay, they are not taking part in the aromaticity. Okay, so we don't consider this lone pair for pi electron counting. So if I ask which of the compound give, if I give a some examples like short question type, isoelectronic to benzene. Okay, so you have to quickly guess that one. These classes of 6-membered ring compound, you have multiple nitrogen, or if you have phosphorus also sometimes. We don't consider the lone pairs in the electronic counting. Okay, so these classes of compound we call it as isoelectronic to benzene. Similarly, if you go for naphthalene, okay, so isoelectronic to naphthalene, we have the quinoline and isoquinoline. So you have lone pair here, you have lone pair here. So these lone pairs are not taking part in the aromaticity. Another is you have cyclopentadienyl carbanion. Okay, so this one, cyclopentadienyl carbanion. If I consider, hello. So if we try to count the total number of pi electrons, here you have to consider this negative charge. So one negative charge means you have 2 electrons. So that 2 electrons is involved in the aromaticity. Okay. So here total electrons we have to consider 6 pi electrons. Okay. Now in this case you have all of these 5-membered ring, they belongs to this category, isoelectronic to cyclopentadienyl carbanion. The one heteroatom you have no problem, you can easily understand. Okay, so that will be taking part. But if you have 2 heteroatom which you may be confused with, just you look at the heteroatom which it doesn't have the pi, so-called visible pi bond. Okay, that heteroatom will be taking part in the electron delocalization. Okay, or this side also it can electron delocalization. So ultimately you have total 6 electrons, 2 direct pi bond electrons and another electrons from the non-bonding orbitals of the heteroatom. Okay, and that takes part into the delocalization. And the last one, we have this structure where you see a benzene and a cyclopentadiene that are fused, and you have one anion here also, and it is quite similar to the previous one. The similar way you have the lone pair of the heteroatom, they are taking part into the aromaticity. Okay, so these are some of the examples we see where we find the isoelectronic nature of the heterocyclic compound with respect to the corresponding non-heterocyclic compounds. Okay. If you look at caffeine, so in our last semester we tried to, not last semester, first semester, we tried to extract caffeine, okay, from tea leaves probably. So you have again the heterocyclic compounds, two fused ring which have individual ring is having more than one nitrogen, so two nitrogen systems. Another compound, if you look at, this is known as actose. So this is synthetically developed heterocyclic compound which acts as the medicine and is being used for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. Okay. So this is also having, if you look at, you have pyridine ring, you have another 5-member ring having sulfur as heteroatom and nitrogen as heteroatom. So you have a variety of different compounds. This is one of the most important compound we find in the nature as termed as alkaloid, tylophorin. Okay, so this tylophorin is found to be having anti-inflammatory and anti-tumor activity. Okay. Another one, we have another alkaloid, you have yohimbine. So you see the structure, you have, in this case you have one like piperidine type ring, and there is pyrrole type of ring. Okay. So it's a fused compound, lot of rings are here. Recently, very, it got very popularity of this compound. I hope all of you have heard this one, hydroxychloroquine. So this COVID pandemic, we had to supply many countries to this compound. This is actually used for the treatment of malaria, but scientific community, they are telling it may have some impact on COVID-19 too. But what it has is, it has more drawback than its real activity. So it has a bad impact on heart. Okay. So this is again one of the heterocyclic compound. You have pyridine ring. The most important heterocyclic compound we know, with which we are built up, is the nucleobase, the DNA constituents. Okay, so you have purine base, where we find the adenine and guanine. Okay, you look at the nitrogens, how many nitrogens you have. So you have the different positions. Okay. And here you see another is pyrimidine type of base. So both includes into the nucleobase. You know already, this is cytosine, you have thymine and uracil. Okay. So as a whole, if you analyze, what we find is that most of the heterocyclic compound, it has some biological relation. Okay, either it is helping to helping as an constituent part of a bigger molecule to form the biologically active component, or it can be some synthetically developed compound which may have different biological activity. So it is a hope for us if some of us work in future in chemistry as research scholar or researcher, what you can take as your subject to develop different new types of heterocyclic compounds and explore their biological activity. Okay, so that is one of the positive part. If you can incorporate, can develop some biologically active compound, that will have some impact definitely. To our topic, what we have to understand is we will go through the compound pyridine itself. Okay, so we'll try to understand its structure, its synthetic route, what are the possible starting materials you can imagine or you can come up with from its structure. Okay, and then with that starting material, how you can synthesize the compound. And obviously we'll see the reactivity in terms of nucleophilic, in terms of electrophilic reactivity with reagents, and also we'll see how it behaves in photochemistry. We'll see the chemistry of quinoline. That is also in your syllabus. So quinoline, how many isomer you can have from quinoline? Can anybody tell? How many isomer you can think of from quinoline? Any idea how many isomer you can have from quinoline? Can anybody tell? How many isomers are possible? Any one of you? No idea?
So 2 only maybe.
Only 2 you came up with? Means
Sir, if
this
consider
is-
only one nitrogen,
Hmm.
then quinoline and isoquinoline possible.
Any
Two
other
sides.
any other possibilities? No. No other possibilities.
No, sir.
Okay, so you are correct. You have only 2 isomer of this structure. So this is itself one, and you can have another position. It will be like the position you have left of is this one, isoquinoline. So you have only these 2 different position. If you put nitrogen here, it will be the same structure, quinoline, right? So you can have only one of these. So that is the isoquinoline. So 2 structure only. And indole, how many structure you can guess? How many isomer you can have? Indole. How many isomer for indole? Possible isomer?
1, sir.
1.
Yes, sir.
So if you change the nitrogen to this center, if I try to draw this one, you look at what is the deficiency. So if I draw nitrogen here, okay, what you can do is you can have structure. Okay. You can have. Got it. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so that means here also you have probability of 2. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2. Similar will be the situation if you move to benzofuran. Okay, you have again the similar structure as we have seen just now. So in this case also we can draw like oxygen, you can put at 2 position, and then you can put 2 double bond here. So all will be sp2, right? All centers are sp2 now. So this is again you have 2 isomers possible, but our syllabus we have only indole and benzofuran. We don't have the chemistry of these 2 compounds. But what we'll try to learn is how we can give the name of this type of compound. Okay, you have benzothiophene also, and it will be the similar number of isomer. So benzothiophene will also learn. So these 3 it belongs to the benzofused. Okay, so you are fusing the benzene ring with another heterocyclic compound. So you have benzene and pyrrole fusion here to form indole. You are fusing benzene and furan to get benzofuran. Here you are fusing benzene and thiophene. We have another interesting compound is pyrazole. Okay, so this is azole type compound. How many isomer you can imagine here? Can you guess how many isomers are possible for pyrazole? Quickly.
I think, sir, 4.
You are getting 4. So what you have to do, you have to remember
Sir.
your number of unsaturation should be same. Everything should be same. Okay, and then you
2,
can,
sir.
yeah. So you have 2. Okay, so 1, 2, and 1, 3. So we can call it like 1, 2, and 1, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, and 1, 3 pyrazole, that we have to read. We have to know their chemistry. Now 1, 3 you have special name. We call it as imidazole. Okay, imidazole. Another one compound is oxazole. So oxazole, again, this is if I give oxygen as 1, nitrogen as 2. Sorry, this is 3 position. So you can get oxazole also in as 2 isomers, right?
Yes,
So 1, 2, and 1, 3. Just you remember the difference between these 2. This is 1, 2. Note down, this is, you have 1, 3 as imidazole, 1, 2 is pyrazole. Here you look at the iso term came. It is not the, sorry, yeah, so actually this is isoxazole. So 1 O is omitted to have isoxazole. Okay. So 1, 2 is we are calling as iso. 1, 3 is calling as regular name. Okay, oxazole. But pyrazole, it is just the opposite. Okay, pyrazole we are calling 1, 2 as the pyrazole. Okay, and 1, 3 we are giving a separate name as imidazole. Similarly, you have thiazole, and this is similar to oxygen system. So you have 1, 3 position, and 1, 2 position you have isothiazole. 1, 2 position isothiazole. Okay, so these are the 5 membered diheteroatom atomic system. Okay, so each of them are having 2 heteroatom. So this is in our syllabus. We don't have like pyrrole or furan type of compounds in our MSc syllabus. What we have for 5 membered is heteroatomic compound. Then we have pyrazine. So can you azine? So this is diazine we call it. So how many isomers are possible for diazine? Can you guess? How many isomers are possible here?
So 3.
So you have 1, 2. You can put 1, 3, right? You can put 1, 4. So exactly that is the correct answer. So you have 1, 2. We call it as pyridazine or pyridazine. You have pyrimidine and you have pyrazine. Okay. So pyrimidine we are calling it as 1, 3 azine, diazine, and this is we call it as 1, 4 diazine. Okay. So 1, 2 diazine is pyridazine, 1, 3 diazine is called pyrimidine, and 1, 4 we call it as pyrazine. Okay. So these are the compounds, these 15 compounds we have in our syllabus. So we'll be discussing their chemistry. So today I'll stop here. What from next day we'll do is we'll try to understand the nomenclature. Okay. So I'll take 2 to 3 classes to complete the nomenclature. We'll try to learn what are the IUPAC nomenclatures and what are other nomenclatures. Okay. So how these these terminologies are coming. Okay, azole and this imidazole. Okay, so how those terminologies are coming, we'll come to know in our next few classes. Okay, so there what I will try to do, I will try to cover the first monocyclic compound, then we'll go to the fused compound. Okay, bicyclic or tricyclic compound. So I think I have only one class in for 302 weekly. So this heterocyclic, though it looks very small chapter, but you have lot of compounds, so it will take some time actually. Okay, we'll try to finish that one. So you, I find like most of the cases in last class also, like the attendance was quite low. It is around 30 something, while you are total more than 50 students. What happened? Have you tried to contact others whether they are not able to connect or they are just not attending the classes? So today's class is very simplest one. I hope all of you got the overall idea. So next class onwards will be a bit hectic. Lot of rulings will be there. Okay. So you have to do practice from the beginning, otherwise you will forget. Okay. So we are quitting here. We'll see tomorrow again with the 304 course. Okay. So
Thank you, sir.
thanks for your attending the class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.